When the BIC crystal launched in 1950, it forged its path to being one of the most iconic pens in history, quite literally. The pen forms part of a collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Quite impressive for just a pen. BIC Crystal was born from Marcel BIC's vision to improve and adapt the existing ballpoint pen. Add in some creative advertising that actually won the French Oscar de la Publicité in 1952, and you find yourself with a serviceable business model. BIC pen's reliability and ergonomics won the heart of customers who switched from fountain pens to ballpoint pens in the 1950s and 60s. Hear this. BIC sold its 100 billionth BIC Crystal pen in 2005. That means that it sold an average of 57 pens per second since it launched in 1950. That astronomical number of pens is enough to stretch 40 times the distance from Earth to Moon. The pens were marketed in Europe at first. To replicate its success in the Western world, Marcel dropped the H in his name when he introduced the Big Boy logo in 1961. Imagine the jokes and memes about BIC if the H was left in the name. But that did not stop BIC from designing edgy advertising later on. BIC did not stop at pens. They wanted to diversify their business by launching products using the same business model. After acquiring Flaminaire, a manufacturer of lighters, they launched the BIC pocket-sized lighter in 1973. To compete with Gillette lighters in the US, BIC created commercials around the slogan, "Flick my BIC," which definitely caught the attention of American consumers. Since then, they have introduced a range of new lighters. It is quite impressive that their pocket lighter kept the same design for over 40 years. According to BIC, the lighter's shape results from research carried out by experts to provide the best handling. Then in 1975, they partnered with Violex, a manufacturer of razor blades, to launch the first one-piece razor. Before that, men were using straight razor, also known as cutthroat razor. BIC's razor gained in popularity as they were much safer and more effective than traditional razors. But BIC faced competition from Gillette. BIC has been going at it with Gillette since the 1950s. First were the pens, then the lighters, and next razors. In 1982, Gillette quickly introduced a disposable razor called Good News in the US. However, operating at low margins was not Gillette's forte. When it realized that, it introduced a sensor in 1989 that played on brand image and quality. Both companies continue to introduce new razor models to dominate the market. In 1981, BIC tried its luck in the sports industry by acquiring Tabor Marine, a manufacturer of water sports products, which operates under the BIC Sport brand. BIC Sport had diversified its product line to include surfboards, kayaks, and stand-up paddleboards. But that business never really took off and was sold to Tahi Outdoor in 2018. In 1989, BIC even launched Parfum BIC, a pocket-sized perfume. BIC had hoped to replicate its business model in the fragrance space as well, with its low-price perfume offering. They were trying to sell the idea that a perfume could be bought and used at a much higher turnover. But that business also never really took off. BIC knew it had to play to its strengths. Therefore, it continued to acquire companies in adjacent product categories. In 1992, it acquired Whiteout, a brand of correction products. To complement that acquisition, in 1997, it acquired Tipex, another brand of correction fluid. These acquisitions made more sense, as consumers would most likely buy pens and correction products as a complement. To jump into the premium pen category, BIC bought Schaefer, a manufacturer of premium pens. However, BIC later sold Schaefer in 2014. In 2015, to gain a foothold in India, BIC completed the acquisition of Cello, India's largest manufacturer and distributor of writing instruments. BIC even had its fuel cell technology business. It was developing hydrogen fuel cartridges that could be connected to fuel cell devices. But by now, you should know how this ended. BIC sold its portable fuel cell technology in 2015. Nowadays, many people joke about how BIC produces two of the most casually stolen items in the world: BIC pens and lighters. All jokes aside, BIC has been raking in about 1.9 billion euros in annual revenues for quite some time. What products do you think BIC could undertake to grow the business? Let us know.